Alright everyone, welcome back to Clarity Gaming Weekly Cup. We're going back into a game with our Zerg player JakeBake, who just took a 2-0 victory over Death End, a Masters Protoss player. We're going in to see him face another TVP, or ZVP, excuse me, against our player Believe. Protoss is
opening.
opening.
Be his second LagTT Protoss in a row, too.
All these games are best of threes. And our Protoss opening standard with a Forge Fast Expand, and nothing unusual out of our Zerg player either.
Yep, this looks up to this point the same as all of our other games so far, so that's 3 in a row. The best part of the game in your casting. You come up with something to talk about, but you kind of want to make it related to the game.
Very early.
Not really possible.
Very early part of the game. Look at this probe.
Yeah, I don't think the last guy tried that at all.
He's leading the charge a little early, I think. Spawning pool does go down at 14, very standard.
Indeed. Everyone wants first blood, right? This probe.
This probe
is out of Zealot school, but he wants to show them he belongs.
Exactly. He's out for blood, out to steal their money. Zerg beware, there are muggers around every bend.
Well, that's always nice to do if you can spare the actions. It costs a little bit of mining time for the defending player and only costs basically hand movement for the aggressive player. Not going to be able to deny that hatchery for very long at all, as that probe was already a little bit weakened and then started taking a lot of hits. But he did what he wanted him to for the most part.
So we have a Nexus first out of our Protoss player. Very standard on Cloud Kingdom, as far as I know. I usually do this on Cloud Kingdom. It's got pretty much the exact same rush distance as Daybreak too. And Daybreak is kind of known as the Nexus first map, so...
Indeed. And this opening here, not too wide, so he's going to be able to wall it off pretty easily.
His cannon is going to be a little bit delayed after that forge because he did decide to chrono probes. But I don't think it's going to be a problem. He's heading back out with that probe, probably to get a scout on this third, like every smart Protoss should.
Gonna check the watchtower real quick, make sure nothing's hiding in the shadows, and then just retreat right back up the ramp. I guess because that probe is already injured, he doesn't like venturing outside the house too much. It's dangerous to go alone and all that.
Natural is up for our Zerg player. Still no gas.
He's taking the 2 in his main, as is pretty normal. The Zerg player, no gas yet, so speed's going to be significantly late. And if Believe goes for a little bit of that Zealot pressure that we saw in the last game, he could get a little bit of good results done. But it doesn't look like he has any intention of doing that, as he does appear to be skipping the Zealot in favor of just saving a little bit of that money, spending it on probes and getting his stalker out, and just relying on that cannon for now.
And when, I mean, if you are a person who has scouted the Zerg third, I can understand skipping the Zealot. However, this is an interesting choice. He must have something very specific planned. No, he's just going to get a later Zealot, so maybe he just wanted to chrono probes.
Oh, I guess so. It's a little bit greedy. That can backfire pretty easily, but we are seeing a Stargate get thrown down. So he's going to be, a little bit more safe against any Ro8 that could come and be able to do some damage if he catches his Zerg opponent off guard.
So very standard, the Stargate going down before 6 minutes is usually when you want it. Usually when you do this, it's so you can get those Phoenix productions started, chrono out like 3 or 4 of them, and then catch the Zerg by surprise, lift up all those queens, and leave him with very little larva to produce units, and you get scout on everything inside the Zerg space. So we'll see if that's the strategy that he's going for here. Picking up all 4 gas though. Interesting for a Stargate play. He's probably going to add on a second tech, or just planning to get lots of sentries in addition to these Stargate units.
Yeah, that is a little bit interesting and somewhat uncommon, at least nowadays. A little bit supply block for the Protoss player, actually, and just now starting a pylon, so that's a little bit unfortunate for him, as when you're doing a build like this that has any timed aggression on it, you need it to be as crisp as possible, and getting supply block just removes crispness.
That's a lot of lings that he produced at this tower. We'll see if the Protoss moves this Zealot back in time. Nope, he does get the surround. That's going to be basically a free Zealot for the Zerg player.
Yep, a Zergling for a Zealot's a pretty good trade any day. If you could go all day trading 4-to-1 on your money, I think anyone would be crazy not to take that deal.
Exactly, and not only that, but the Zerg player has got to be feeling very comfortable. You know, he's seeing this Void Ray right away.
Yep. And Believe seems to be a little bit nervous as he's putting in a pylon at his natural just to complete that wall off, so if he's perhaps not looking at his natural for just a second, Zerglings aren't going to be able to sneak in there like they would have otherwise, but
now,
it's a little bit of a scared move to do.
This isn't even ling tight though, so he's not...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's just a tiny little diagonal gap there. And he would need a gateway to wall that off completely right there. Even if he moved the pylon up a space, there would still be a little gap. The Zerglings checking for the third, they see none.
Wow, that gateway count too. The Zerg has no idea, but that's 8.
8? Oh my gosh. 8 gateways and a Stargate. This is about...
That's so harsh.
This is the holy all-in from hell right here.
Yeah, the Zerg sees Stargate units, so he's like, alright, I'll get anti-air and I'll keep building up, but in the meantime an 8 gate hits right behind it.
And look, I mean,
brutal things you can hit.
He built 2 spore crawlers in every base. He just gave 6 drones, and he's about to run into, you know, all these sentries moving across the map, and probably another warp in of stalkers and zealots. These are going to be way more units, and he has no spine crawlers already.
And there weren't any overlords to give him advance warning because the Void Ray went ahead and cleared the way.
Yeah, our Protoss player just about to get his first warp in, then he'll probably move in right away.
We're going to see a lot of zealots here.
Yeah, the Protoss does have +1, of course. I think the Zerg knows now.
Yeah, he should know now. But what can he do? He's building
6 infestors.
They're not going to be here for a while, though. They're definitely not going to be out in time to save his third.
Oof. Lucky with those force fields not getting a queen trapped.
Yes.
Definitely smart choice by the Zerg to immediately sack this third. He knows there's no way he's holding on to that with what he has right now.
I would like it if he was a little more active with the Zerglings, just trying to get around behind the Protoss army. And at worst, that makes the Protoss keep his reinforcement units closer to his pylons, because he doesn't want to lose those.
You can always go around the back and cut off reinforcements by killing those oh so precious pylons and probes.
Acro Hatch gets mercilessly shut down, but the infestors are out now.
They're out. 1-1 Zerglings. The force field's not good enough. All those lings get through. I don't think he has enough infestors though.
Yeah, there's just not enough Zerg stuff. Even with the Great Mongols taking out sentries, there's still just too many stalkers. You can't handle the damage being done.
8 gateways proving to be far too many for this Zerg player. This was absolutely insane. I mean, I could understand 7 gateways, but 8 seems like just absolutely ridiculous. No hope for ever moving on into the late game. Even 7 gates is, you know, a lot to be mentioned.
Zerg's trying his best to hold on, but he's just getting overwhelmed. He's losing all of his drones, and once those are gone, there's nothing left.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, this is kind of the part of the game where the Zerg thinks, well, you never know, but
yeah,
if you were able to see it from our view, he would understand that there really is no coming back.